Europe held out another olive branch to Greece this week. The Eurozone's finance ministers say they're willing to give Athens more time to deal with the country's spiralling debts, which now add up to about 330 billion euros. They've also refused to rule out new loans for Greece or a second bailout. But what do investors think? Hello and welcome to Made in Germany, your business magazine on DW TV. I'm Ben Fazulin. Here's a look at what else we've got in store for you. Daimler & Co. powering the South African economy for generations. High density, a part of Germany with the most mid-sized market leaders in the world. And holy water, entrepreneurs on a divine mission. We start the show with the next instalment in our series, 125 Years of Automobiles. This time, the car-making world. And it's time to hone in on an international centre where some of the world's best-selling luxury cars are produced. Daimler is just one of the global auto giants that have built up South Africa's most important manufacturing industry. The German car maker set up shop here about half a century ago on the southeast coast in East London. The factory has left its stamp on the city and its people. We meet a family that's worked for Daimler for 3 generations.
Whenever Sinazo Mashali drops by her old workplace, her former colleagues are pleased to see her. She started working at the Mercedes plant in East London, South Africa, 3 years ago. First, she worked on the production line.
I started working here in 2008, and I used to be the logistics planner. So what I used to do is that I used to plan the line side placement of our parts. So as you see the sequence now, these are all the parts that are required for this area. So what I normally used to do is I would draft what needs to be on the line and make sure that it's placed accordingly.
Sinazo is something of a star for the others on the line. 6 months ago, she made it from the factory floor to management at the headquarters in the capital, Pretoria.
My colleagues are very happy for me, and I'm very happy for myself as well, especially because we had a very close working relationship. So my move to our headquarters in Pretoria was quite an accomplishment.
Mercedes has been making cars in East London for more than 50 years. Some 2,500 people work at the plant. The company needs good staff. The career ladder is a real option now, 20 years after apartheid ended. Sinazo's father, Desmond Mafanya, has been working for Mercedes for 20 years. He's proud of his daughter's achievement. His job paid for the education that got her here.
Today I'm an artisan through this company. I apprenticed in this company for 4 years, then I became a motor mechanic through this company. Now, if I want to go out or work for other car company,
Sinazo pays a visit to her former school. Her family spent a lot of money on her education.
Oh, this one right here. Yes. Oh, okay, let's go. Is she there now?
Yeah, she is there.
Yeah, it is an expensive school, one of the very best schools in East London. My parents compromised a lot to get me here. I mean, they took the money out of their wages because they're working class, and they made sure that I actually come to one of the best schools because they wanted to invest so much in my career.
Mercedes is the biggest employer in East London. The money the workers earn there keeps a lot of businesses and shops going. That also holds true in Bedantsane, a township outside East London. Some 300,000 people live here. This is where Sinazo Mashali grew up. She still has a lot of friends here, but a lot of people are unemployed. This friend of hers has been looking for work for a long time.
It's sad for me to see some of the people that I grew up with, still find them in the same place. There has been no growth whatsoever. It's really heartbreaking. And that's primarily because I feel there's not enough motivation in the area. It's not enough inspiration for the people to want to succeed, to want to go further in life.
Sinazo's family still lives in her childhood home in Miranzane. Now that she's moved to Pretoria, she sees her father much less. Her uncle Madoda has worked for Mercedes for 30 years and experienced the end of apartheid there.
I can't believe you've kept all of these. This was when Mercedes-Benz handed over the red S-Class to Nelson Mandela.
Every person was working with pride on this Mandela's car.
Yeah.
Started from body shop, monitoring by the workers, singing.
We're talking about people that are adding value.
When Mercedes built Nelson Mandela's car in 1990, Sinazo was 4 years old. Today, she's 25. 2 decades ago, her career at Mercedes would have been unthinkable. But Sinazo Mashali has seized the opportunities provided by a democratic South Africa.
Talking about moving your way up the career ladder, this is your chance to tell me what it's like in your workplace. What promotion opportunities does your employer offer? To let us know, go to our website at dw-world.de/English/Made in Germany, or one word. Fill in the online questionnaire and you'll automatically qualify for our monthly draw. We look forward to hearing from you, and you could look forward to this, our prize. You'll have the chance of winning this USB card, which includes our special series on cars. Last week we asked you how you save electricity. Leonard Middleton from Goodna in Australia wrote that he's managed to halve his electricity usage by turning off the electric hot water heater when he's doing a cold wash. Shweta Gupta from India said she doesn't have to save electricity as her state government does it for her. She says it's so concerned about it that they quite often have to face scheduled power outages. Now, we didn't get anyone writing in from Greece. I suppose they've had it up to here trying to find new ways of saving. The government's been trying to get its finances in order for over a year now. And Eurozone leaders are demanding further austerity measures in exchange for more time or more aid. Some have even suggested selling off a Mediterranean island or two to keep the wolves at bay. So why should companies invest in a country that already owes an estimated 500 million euros to German firms alone? Germany is one of Greece's most important trading partners and investors. The business manager of the Greek-German Chamber of Commerce, Martin Knapp, wants to keep it that way.
A taste of Greece in Reutlingen. Martin Knapp speaks fluent Greek, and he's familiar with the Greek business world. He tries to make it attractive to German companies.
On the one hand, we want to foster understanding. On the other hand, as a Chamber of Commerce and Industry, we are required to be objective. We tell our clients here in Germany quite openly what the problems are.
The managers of the Leitenberger company are familiar with some of these problems. They've been manufacturing some of their products in Greece for years. Leitenberger produces pressure and temperature gauges.
The main reason we're here is that we want to expand our operations in Greece. So we want to know how conditions there have changed or deteriorated, whether our money is still well invested there, which we hope, or whether we should be wary.
That's why they're meeting with the head of the German-Greek Chamber of Commerce at a seminar about opportunities and risks in the Greek economy. There are plenty of critical analyses.
They have maneuvered themselves into a difficult situation.
Martin Knapp directs attention away from credit markets to the expansion of Greek industry, and that is key for Leitenberger.
As a company already manufacturing in Greece, we want to know how you would judge the risk of further investments in Greece.
You're still in a European Union country. You have all the protection that an EU country provides an investor. You have no major problems at all.
We're going to invest and soon go ahead with constructing another building.
Is that a joint decision?
Yes.
About 150 German companies do business in Greece.
As a matter of fact, none of the companies that have operations in Greece have thrown in the towel. They're all still there, waiting for better times.
Martin Knapp is about to fly back to Athens, where he'll be meeting German politicians. He'll no doubt brief them on investment opportunities in Greece.
Let's see what our guest has got to say. He's from the German Chambers of Industry and Commerce, Ilya Notnagel. Would you open a business or factory in Greece right now?
Well, it's a tough question to open a business right now in Greece, but you have opportunities. The country has to build up its industry to become competitive again, and you have a lot of skilled and motivated personnel right now because they want to try something to build up this country again.
How is that different, though, from other European countries at the moment?
Well, Greece has several problems. They have budget problems, but they also have problems with competitiveness, and so they have to improve their competitiveness to become very successful on the markets again. So it's a long way to go. They are just working 1 year to improve the situation, so there's a lot of way to go right now.
You say the motivation is there. When I hear something about wage cuts of up to 30%, that doesn't sound very motivating. Are workers really keen on getting in there and changing things?
Well, I think they're keen in changing things, but you have to have in mind that the wages are only one part. You also have productivity, and if productivity is low and wages are high, nobody invests. So you have to improve on the one side productivity, and on the other side wages have to become attractive again for investors. So this is one step, and the people know that they have to invest something themselves to build up the country.
Could wages become that cheap that it becomes Europe's cheapest production or manufacturing location?
Well, it's not about only about the price. It's also about quality. It's also about products you produce. So they have the chance to get a niche where they are good in, but this takes more than just low wages.
Now, besides more time and more money for the government, what about a debt restructuring? That's something that's been discussed.
A haircut would be a hard step to do, especially for banks in whole Europe and for insurance companies. And banks and insurance companies own the savings of the people in Europe. So if they have losses, the people will have losses. So this is a tough way to go, where you don't know every situation which might cause this step.
And what would banks, businesses and insurance companies think about Greece dumping the euro altogether?
Well, dumping the euro would delete all the savings of Greece people. So this is a way which Greece government is not going to go, because the people will lose all their savings, and no one would invest there anymore, because you don't have the euro anymore. Your investments are not this safe right now, so no one would invest there anymore. This will just delay the problem.
So how do you think Greece can get out of this mess?
Well, improve competitiveness, balance the budget. You can improve your competitiveness also without saving. You have to support businesses setting up. You have to make businesses just easier in tax systems, also in the framework for workings. So maybe this would be a way to improve competitiveness.
And just briefly, what can Germans do to improve the situation, perhaps?
Well, Germany is doing a lot, because the German economy is very good right now. So we import a lot, and the imports from Greece rose last year remarkably, so about 14%. So this is a lot Germany already has done for Greece. So if Germany is a strong country, Greece will also have its way and get some kind of support.
OK, positive outlook there. Ilya Nordnagel, thank you very much for coming in.
You're welcome.
Maybe it's in the water. I don't know. But there's a region of Germany that has the highest density of niche market leaders per capita in the world. It's in the south, Heilbronn-Franken. There are about 100 mid-sized global leaders that are based here. One of them is the Wirth company in Kreglingen. It makes complex plastic parts and moulds for a variety of sectors, including the medical engineering, electrical, automotive and railway industries.
The story begins in the cellar of my parents' house. I have very clear memories from first or second grade of wanting to play soccer in the afternoon. And my father saying, "It's better if you go down and help me mill these nice little pegs. You know, we have so few people, I really need your help."
Udo Wirthwein's father began his business in 1949 by making wooden dowels for building train tracks. The sawmill, where Udo Wirthwein spent so much of his childhood, has long since closed down. There are many world-class companies in the region, and many began small. Nowadays, Wirthwein makes high-tech components for train tracks, angle guide plates. It's almost the only company in the world that serves its niche market, which is typical of successful companies here. Plastic components like this are used, for example, on the high-speed rail link between Beijing and Shanghai.
The parts are all soaked in water to absorb moisture to make them tougher. And I can hear by their sound whether they've been soaked or not.
A world market leader trophy. The family business takes pride in its position. Some time ago, Udo Wirthwein appointed his 2 sons to the board. The company has 2,000 employees and plans to keep growing fast and flexibly. People here think good business practices are part of their heritage.
I think people are genuinely decent here. They're down to earth and they're decent. They know where they come from. A lot of companies that become global players turn arrogant. People here aren't like that.
The group comprises 13 companies with units in 4 foreign countries. A common trait of global market leaders based in southern Germany is going where the markets are, sooner rather than later. Wirthwein is now opening a second plant in China. Stepping out into the wider world is never easy for mid-sized companies.
Our first foreign locations resulted from customers pleading with us. They wanted us to go with them to another country. And we said yes. We now have considerable experience in setting up units abroad, and we like locating abroad.
The company is based in Kreglingen in the beautiful Tauber Valley. Many families have worked for Wirthwein for generations. The boss is a local, and so are most of his staff.
I see it in my senior staff. The women prefer to live in the nearby city of Würzburg. Kreglingen is a village, a small town. If people were to come here from Berlin, they wouldn't feel happy.
Many of his employees agree, and that's typical of the regional world market leaders here too. Gerold Ott, for example, is a tool maker who works on moulds for components. He lives in nearby Frauenthal. We asked him whether he would go and live abroad.
Well, maybe for a short time. But not for a long time.
And the reason why is Kreglingen is simply idyllic. After 9 hours of work at the company, many go home and work some more. Agriculture has always played an important part in the area. It's still quite rural and the towns are far apart. Gerold Ott is a part-time farmer. And, like many in the region, he likes to tinker. He won an inventing competition with this log-splitting machine.
As long as it's fun, you don't watch the clock.
Not everyone in Germany thinks that way, but in the region of the world market leaders, it's the most normal thing in the world.
Well, from the normal everyday to our series Not Business as Usual. This time we're off to Germany's largest mineral water springs, the Adelholzner Alpenquellen. Bit of a mouthful, but that's what this business is all about, bottled water. However, it's not run by a regular corporation. A Catholic order of nuns is in charge. The Sisters of Charity have turned the Bavarian spring into an expanding and successful company. The mineral water bottled by the business nuns is shipped all over the world. Nuns on the run, holy water, a divine mission. Call it what you want, but these women know what they're doing.
Reverend Mother, Sister Theodolinde, is on her way to the headquarters of the Adenholzner Alpenquellen Mineral Water Company. There's going to be a little ceremony at which she presents a check, a donation to a good cause. But things are not ready yet. Can a Sister of Charity be a stressed-out businesswoman?
You just have to do things one at a time and not get agitated. We don't suffer from stress. You just have to plan your day.
The congregation she belongs to runs 6 nursing homes and 3 hospitals. The check she and the business manager are handing over is going to a home for the elderly, one they do not run themselves. They've collected more than 1,500 euros. Next, Sister Theodolinde confers with the managing director of the mineral water company. They don spacesuits. It's a money spinner for the sisters. The firm sells 380 million bottles of water a year. For 15 years, Sister Theodolinde was in charge here. And she's still on the advisory board.
You have to get the team involved. Talk with them. Every employee realizes when a company is doing well, then the staff do well too. Standing still is actually moving backwards. We can't have that. We need to make a profit to finance our operations and help reduce suffering in the world.
A few years ago, she needed a little convincing about the merits of a new product, O2 Active. Adenholzner mineral water with a little extra oxygen added. Now it sells like hotcakes in 26 countries. Sister Theodolinde is impressed by the design of the cap. It doesn't leak, even when the bottle is turned upside down. The plant has a staff of 370, and Sister Theodolinde knows them all. No other mineral water company in Germany is owned by a religious order. The managing director is pleased about that.
We are basically a normal commercial company. The advantage is that we have just one owner. In terms of strategy, that allows us to carry out operations calmly and plan for the midterm. We are not obsessed about quarterly results the way big firms are that have to keep their shareholders happy.
The spring has belonged to the congregation since 1907. They say even the Pope drinks their water. And they're proud that their company is so successful.
We both enjoy our work, and we work a lot.
Yes, indeed. Our periods of prayer are very, very important. We can really switch off during prayer. That's a very positive aspect of life in the order. It's lovely.
They live up here in the mountains in tranquility. Corporate executives also go on brief retreats to monasteries occasionally. But the sisters can enjoy this their whole life long.
As long as they've still got time to pray. Remember, if you missed out on one of our shows or would like to see a report again, just go to our website where you can find everything you need to know about Made in Germany. That wraps up this week's show. Thanks for joining us.